What's up, everybody? It is the man with the hottest wheels, Mr. Amazing, CT Berry, coming at you for another video. And in this video, we are going to be talking about the show that my wonderful friends in New Haven from TWA put on, Nightmare in New Haven. So, I have the matches listed right here for you. We are going to go over all of them. So, without further ado, the first match was a world title match. That's right, the first match of the show was for the biggest prize in TWA. And it was the problem child, Zayden Kane, versus the lunatic Vincent Cross. And at our last show, TWA Firestorm, I think that might have been our last show. Anyway, the last TWA show, after Vincent Cross got done with his match in the main event, I have to think about... Oh, he faced Connor Cross. I had to remember who he faced. Zayden Kane appeared on the TV screen and issued a challenge saying he was coming back for Vincent Cross's TWA title after Dead Cell and Vane Lewis and Rick Rogers all took him out after Rick Rogers defeated Zayden Kane to become the new Legacy Champion. So, Zayden Kane returned with his manager coach by his side, and, you know, these two of the best in TWA. I mean, they started off hot, went at it, I mean, you know, back and forth, and this guy actually sat behind me. There was a guy wearing a black hoodie and a sheet mask that claimed to be Zayden Kane's #1 fan, but decided to leave the crowd and go attack Coach with a steel chair. Ultimately, that prompted Zayden Kane to get out of the ring and confront him, and Zayden ripped off the mask, and it was revealed to be Vincent Cross's tag team partner in Dead Cell, Michael Saint. And, you know, Zayden beat him up on the outside, but unfortunately was not able to beat the referee's 10 count back into the ring, so therefore Zayden Kane lost by a countout. Now, Dead Cell did, you know, use the advantage and tried to beat up Zayden Kane and Coach, but they were rescued by Zayden's good friend Chuck Chronic, and Zayden Kane revealed that they are going to take down Dead Cell by what is now called the Black Ninja Gang. I do believe it is now called. And, you know, they are going... More members will be revealed later on, and they will... Well, they said they will take down Dead Cell once and for all, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens there. But moving on, in a match of two guys that returned, you know, Chris Hex, he had been out for a while, and then Patches, he returned from an injury to face Connor Cross, but however, he was injured in that match against Connor Cross. So both men returned looking for something to prove in TWA, and I mean, Patches used his little games and, you know, crawled under the ring and threw silly string at Chris Hex, pied him in the face, silly string at a fan even, which I do believe that was Chris Hex's son, if I'm not mistaken. And, and these guys went, and Chris Hex just had to play Patches' games, and ultimately, was able to hit a Michinoku driver on Patches for the win, and then got a measure of revenge by throwing the rest of the pie in Patches' face. So Chris Hex was your winner in that match. And so who knows what the future holds at TWA for those two men, but we shall see. And then we had TWA Legacy Champion Rick Rogers take on newcomer Sean Barker. Now, I have seen Sean Barker in action before up at XWE up in Nelsonville, Ohio. And he was in a tag team match when I saw him. And yeah, he was pretty good, and got to meet him at the show. He was a pretty cool guy, and told him that I'd seen him up there, and told him that I was a manager myself, and got to meet a new friend in the wrestling business. But this match was a non-title match. So the Legacy Championship was not on the line. But, if Sean Barker did win, or Baker, I don't know if it's Barker or Baker. I think it's Baker. Would win, maybe he could get a TWA Legacy title shot in the future. But, Rick Rogers, he's been in TWA for a while, so, he was not looking to, lay down for Sean Barker or Baker or anything. And, Sean Baker had his manager at ringside, as well as his friend Dudley, who is a puppet, by the way. And he was set on fighting Rick Rogers with that puppet in his hand, but, Rick Rogers, he wasn't about to play that game, and ultimately it was a low blow, and, Rick Rogers had the referee blocked, and then that devastating cutter that Rick Rogers has used to great effect to put away newcomer Sean Baker. So, Rick Rogers, he fended off another challenge. So, perhaps we will see Sean Baker in TWA again. Only time will tell. But the next match was My Chemical Romance and nobody's favorite tag team, that being Crowley Inc. And, so this was for the TWA tag titles. And at the last show, Draven had a match against the Rogue Joshua Charles. And this was after Crowley beat Joshua Charles a couple shows ago after feigning that knee injury. And, Crowley jumped up on the apron, and, Josh, ran Draven into Crowley and was able to roll him up for the pin. So, Draven was very upset with Crowley and, was not happy that, Crowley cost him that match. So there was dissension in Crowley Inc. going into this match. So, these two teams, Big Rig and Slam Mule, two of the most popular guys in TWA. And the crowd was firmly behind My Chemical Bromance. I was thinking of the band My Chemical Romance. But, Yeah, I mean, but, you know, Draven wanted those tag titles, and Crowley did too. And, ultimately it was a distraction. Draven distracted the ref. He was, beating up on Big Rig, and Ronnie Bruce, the manager for Crowley Inc., threw powder into Slamuel's eyes. And then Crowley was able to hit this DDT type move and become the new TWA tag champs. But Crowley was not happy. He told Draven he didn't want to win that way. But Draven was like, we won by hook or by crook. So, I mean, it looks to be like there is still dissension in the ranks of Crowley Inc. But, I'm sure My Chemical Romance will want their tag titles back, so we shall see what happens in the future between these two teams. But then, every year around Halloween, TWA had a prison yard match. They had one last year, but I missed due to, my brother, he got married last year, which yesterday they celebrated their 1 year anniversary. So happy 1 year anniversary to my brother Chase and his wife Sydney. Love you guys. But they had another prison yard match. And, which last year, was won by Vincent Cross, I think. Yeah, because then after that he beat Slamuel for the world title. But this year we had Blackhawk, we had Connor Cross, we had Vane Lewis, we had Chuck Chronic, we had the Rogue Joshua Charles, and we had Damian Abel, which Damian Abel was also a member of Dead Cell. So, but, the match, so here were the rules of the match. So, 2 men started while 4 other men were handcuffed to the ring ropes. And after someone got eliminated, within I think it was a 30-second time limit, the competitor in the ring could choose who he wanted to fight next. Or if he did not make his decision when that timer went off, the decision was made for him. So, Blackhawk and Connor Cross started in this match. If you remember, Connor Cross and Blackhawk had a match, I think it was around the 4th of July, which Connor Cross was the victor. So Blackhawk, he was looking for a measure of revenge, and this time he got it when he was able to roll up Connor Cross for the 1, 2, 3. But Connor Cross was not happy. Because earlier Blackhawk had chosen Vane Lewis, but Connor Cross decided to grab a steel chair and attack Blackhawk with it, which allowed Vane Lewis to go in and pick up the scraps on Blackhawk and eliminate him. Then, Chuck Chronic was then chosen by Vane Lewis right as the timer ran out. And, Chuck Chronic, he's had a shot at Vincent Cross before. He wanted to get another one. And, him and Vane Lewis, they fought, but ultimately, the same tactic that Rick Rogers used earlier in the night, distracted the referee and was able to hit a donkey. Vane Lewis was able to hit a donkey kick style low blow on Chuck Chronic and then hit this beautiful spinning roundhouse kick on Chuck Chronic for the win, or for the pin, I should say. It was a beautiful roundhouse kick, one of the best I've seen. I mean, Vane Lewis, man, love him or hate him, this dude's a heck of a wrestler. I mean, one of the best I've seen wrestle, and Me being in the wrestling business myself, I hope to one day share a locker room with him so I can learn a lot from him. And then Vane Lewis did not pick an opponent within the time limit. So Joshua Charles was chosen to go in. And, and I don't think Vane was too happy about that. And Joshua Charles was able to hit an Olympic slam to be able to pin Vane Lewis and eliminate him from the match. So then it was the final two. The Road Joshua Charles and Dead Cell member Damian Abel. And, Damian came in and, Vincent Cross, he was at ringside and, cheering Damian on along with their manager, Dr. Smiles. And, Damian Abel was looking to use that size advantage that he had on the Road Joshua Charles, but, Joshua Charles, he was able to sidestep it. Damian ran into the ropes, and then Joshua was able to trip him up and was able to roll him up for the 1, 2, 3. So now, Joshua Charles is once again #1 contender for the TWA title. And Vincent Cross and the Road Joshua Charles will square off at TWA Fallout on November 4th. Doors open at 6:30. Bell time is at 7. Tickets are $10. $7 for ages 6 to 12, I think. And then kids 5 and under get in for free. So stay tuned for the next TWA show. It was a great show as always, boys. Really glad to be able to be there and sit in the crowd and, talk to you guys and hang out with you and watch you guys do what you do best. So, anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to finish watching Fastlane and then I'll watch Raw later. Thank God for on-demand and DVR. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.